From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
3U Audio GZ-251. And I was looking at this microphone. I opened it up. I'm looking at the premium parts on the inside. And I'm trying to figure out what makes this microphone sound so great, right? And obviously, yes, it's the sum of the parts that makes it sound so great. But, are there any other companies making a 251 inspired Fed mic? I don't think so. I can't name one. So this microphone, it's a unicorn out there. The 251, right, compared to the C12. The C12 and the 251 are cousins. But the C12 is like your polite cousin that comes over and will help clean up after dinner and do the dishes and say please and thank you. The 251 is the cousin that comes over and after dinner he's like, come on, we're going to a bar. And then you wake up the next morning wearing somebody else's underpants. The 251 is a fun mic. And so this sound, this harmonically rich sound, right, with a bigger low end to it. What is it about this? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, look at this, the AMI T8 transformer. The T8 transformer adds a 2 to 3, I think, maybe-ish 3 dB extra harmonic coloration. And so what you have here is something really unique. And I think it's a compelling microphone for voiceover because what you end up with is something that feels like a little bit more forward than a clean microphone. This could really work pretty well, I think, for narrations, for audiobooks. Not necessarily sure if this is something I would use on a commercial. If it was a commercial that was just voice, just a narration, maybe. But overall, I think that this is a really compelling option for voiceover. I really like this microphone a lot. And that's the other thing too. You really have to love your sound. Because if you don't love your sound, what are you doing? What are you doing? Think about this kind of work that we do. It's you, it's your microphone, it's your space, it's your rig. That's it. That is the whole kit and caboodle right there. And within the realm of that microcosm, within this space right here, you have to make the magic happen. And if the magic comes out of here, right, that's one battle. But it's what happens after it comes out of here that is really very important. And it starts here with the entry point of your voice into the technology. So you have to love the sound of your microphone. Because if you love something, you're going to pay more attention to it. You're going to lavish more attention upon it, which is what you need to do. You need to get obsessive about your sound. Because when you get obsessive about your sound, it gives you the tools to fine-tune it, to get it to the point where you want it to go, as opposed to just randomly shooting in the dark at ideas and sounds and plugging stuff in and see how it works. Right? That's one way to do it. But that's like the 10,000 monkeys in a room banging a typewriter's idea, and somehow you'll end up with some great novel. It's wishful thinking, right? But we all go on a tone quest. And I think the tone quest begins at the moment that your first rig, your first microphone starts to disappoint. When you start to realize the harsh realization that your first microphone just isn't going to take you all the way where you want to go. And such beginneth the tone quest. And the tone quest never ends. So do not feel like you are going to go on this journey and there's going to be a beginning point and an end point. You're basically going to be chasing the dragon for a long time. But the thing is, even though my tone quest has gone on for many, many, many years, I'm really finally honing in on the tools that I think sound best on my voice. Between the Soyuz 017 FET and the other microphones that I surround myself with, I work with every day. These are essential parts of what I do, and what I do is an essential part of my identity. And so that means my tools are an essential part of me being able to provide my identity, an outlet to which I can make a living. So the microphone, you gotta love the sound of your microphone. So wherever you go to get your microphone, it doesn't matter where your tone quest takes you. It just matters where you end up what ideas you have when you do it, what creativity it inspires. And so that's the thing I love about microphones like this. They're unexpected, right? I've had this microphone for a long, long time. And, occasionally, like, microphones move around. Microphones come and go in the booth, and that's just the nature of the thing, right? And so this one kind of went away for a while, and I forgot about it. I completely forgot I had this microphone until Astral Audio. He reminded me, check it out with the comparison with the Sphere and blah, blah, blah. And what I really appreciate about this microphone is that this crazy microphone, right? You buy this directly from the guy who designed it, who builds it. He has a factory in China where he builds all his capsules because the guy, Guo Xingjiang, right? I've mentioned that name before. He's the founder of 3U Audio. This guy has been designing capsules for major manufacturers for decades. And he has what I believe is the largest boutique capsule manufacturing company in the world. He makes capsules for a lot of big companies. And the thing is, this is just a kind of a side thing for him. Well, he's a guy who loves designing capsules. And so what does he do? He's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make some microphones too. So he has this little thing on the side, 3U Audio. And that's why there's no store, which is great because if you had to buy this microphone, like through the normal channels, if it was a normal, like kind of, Shure or Sennheiser kind of thing, right? You have the manufacturer, and then you have a distributor, and then after the distributor, then you have the store or the retail chain or whatever. And every step along the way, that product gets marked up in price, right? But when you buy directly from the guy who makes it, you're paying wholesale for it, right? Isn't that the dream, to pay wholesale for everything? So you pay wholesale for it, which is why this is a ridiculous $599. And look, I know that $599 is still a lot of money. It's not a trivial amount of money at all. But when we're talking about premium style microphones, in any other world where this microphone existed through normal chains, you'd be paying at least $1,000, $1,200 or more for this microphone. But when you buy it directly from the guy who built it. You email him. You just email 3uaudio@gmail.com. It's that simple. You email Guo Sheng and you say, hey, Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, he sent me and he said, what do you think? And I've known people who will send Guo Sheng a recording of them singing into another microphone and say, what microphone do you think would sound better on me? Like, what style? And he'll answer you. And I think that's a complete imposition. I would never do that. But there are people who do that. And he's such a nice guy. He will answer that. He's a great guy. I mean, he really is. And he's a brilliant microphone and capsule designer. So to me, this is such a cool microphone on so many levels. I don't just love the microphone. I don't just love the sound, but I love the story behind it. The whole story behind 3U Audio is so cool. So I'm a fan. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, until next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.